Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, nice to meet you. Welcome to Azahra's channel. In this video, we are going to discuss a topic related to statistics. I'm really excited to dive into today's materials, which I wrap up under the title Islamic Integration of Key Statistical Concepts. This is something new because this time the topic of statistics will be combined with Islamic values that we can apply in our daily lives. In today's discussion, we'll cover several points. First is correlation studies, the second is t-test, the third is analysis of variance or ANOVA, fourth is validity, and the fifth is reliability. Before we begin, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Watch until the end and check it out.
Now, let's begin from a correlation study. A correlation study is a method used to examine the relationship between two variables. A correlation study examines whether two variables are related or associated with one another. This type of research doesn't manipulate variables, it only measures them to find natural relationships. For example, is there a connection between daily exercise and level of stress? The goal is not to prove causation, but to observe relation. To examine the two variables, we use Pearson's correlation coefficient, or R, which range from -1 to +1. -1 means a correlation has a perfect negative relationship, which as one increases and the other decreases. And +1 means the correlation has a perfect positive relationship, which as one increases, so does the other. And 0 means the correlation has no relationship. If the correlation closer to 1 or -1, it has stronger relationships, and if the correlation is closer to 0, it means has weaker relationships. For example, a strong negative correlation between screen time and academic performance. It proves that screen time doesn't have a bad effect on academic performance. Now, let's connect it to Islamic values. Here I have two examples of stronger positive correlation which is integrated to Islamic values. The first one is Surah Al-Mujadalah on verse 11. يَرْفَعُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنْكُمْ وَالَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْعِلْمَ دَرَجَاتٍ وَاللَّهُ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ خَبِيرٌ. Allah will raise those who have believed among you and those who were given knowledge by degrees. It proves that there are positive correlation between faith and knowledge with elevation in status. In this verse, there are two variables. First is faith or al-iman, and the second one is knowledge, al-ilm. In correlation study, this verse has the relationship between faith, knowledge, and outcomes, such as morality, academic achievement, leadership, capacity, or social responsibility. Next is t-test. What is a t-test? A t-test is a statistical test used to determine whether there is a significant difference between the means of two groups. It helps assess if observed differences could have happened by change or if they are likely reflecting a real difference in the population. There are three main types of t-tests. The first is one sample t-test, which it compares one group to a known value. The second is independent sample t-test, which it compares two different groups. Paired sample t-test, which it compares the same group of two time points. For example, comparing test scores between students who attend tutoring session and those who didn't. Each test uses a null hypothesis and an alternative hypothesis. We use a p-value to decide whether the observed difference is significant. If p less than 0.05, we typically reject the null hypothesis. Now let's try to connect it to Islamic values. What is a t-test in the point of view of Islam? A t-test is a scientific method used to determine whether there is a significant difference between the means of two groups. It upholds the Islamic values of fairness, justice, by helping researchers make unbiased decisions based on data, not assumption or prejudices. As Allah says in Surah Al-Ma'idah on verse 8, وَلَا يَجْرِمَنَّكُمْ شَنَآنُ قَوْمٍ عَلَىٰ أَلَّا تَعْدِلُوا اعْدِلُوا هُوَ أَقْرَبُ لِلتَّقْوَى. And do not let hatred of a people prevent you from being just. Be just, that is nearer to righteousness. When we apply tests like the t-test, it helps us to ensure objectivity and truth in our conclusion. A t-test reflects the Islamic value of justice or al-adlu, ensuring we do not draw conclusions based on assumption. It also aligns with the concept of sincere intention or ikhlas, setting hypotheses sincerely, and trust in Allah or tawakkul, accepting the result with humility. The third is analysis of variance or ANOVA. ANOVA is a statistical technique used to determine whether there are significant differences between the means of three or more independent groups. It extends the logic of the t-test, which compares the means of two groups to multiple groups. ANOVA helps identify whether the variation in independent variables, such as students' test scores, can be explained by the grouping of an independent variable, such as teaching method or curriculum type. The central idea behind ANOVA is to separate the total variance into two components: the variance between groups and the variance within groups. If the variance between the group is significantly greater than the variance within the groups, then we conclude that the group means are not equal. The null hypothesis in ANOVA assumes that all groups means are equal, meaning there is no significant difference. The alternative hypothesis states that at least one group means is different. ANOVA doesn't specify which groups differ. Further analysis like post hoc test is needed to determine the specific differences. For example, comparing average test scores of students using SPSS, R, and Excel. Now let's connect to the Islamic values. The first one is from Surah Al-Hujurat on verse 13. Ya ayyuhan nasu inna khalaqnakum min dzakarin wa untha wa ja'alnakum syu'uban wa qabaila lita'arafu. O mankind, we have created you from male and female, and made you peoples and tribes that you may know one another. This verse acknowledges that the existence of multiple groups, syu'uban wa qabaila, different communities or categories of people. ANOVA is used in statistics to analyze such group differences objectively. From Islamic view, while Allah created us in different groups, true superiority is only by piety, not by group identity. So, ANOVA can be used to understand differences while maintaining fairness and avoiding bias, which align with the Quranic call to justice and mutual understanding. The second one is Surah An-Nisa on verse 58. Inna Allaha ya'murukum an tu'attul amanati ila ahliha wa idha hakamtum bainan nas an tahkumu bil 'adl. Indeed, Allah commands you to render trust to whom they are due, and when you judge between people, to judge with justice. ANOVA is a method of fair judgment between groups. It allows researchers to determine whether differences exist without favoritism or bias. This verse teaches us the importance of al-'adl or justice, which is the essence of objective scientific analysis. The fourth is validity. Validity is a measurement tool that accurately measures what is intended to measure. Without validity, data gathered through assessment, such as surveys, interviews, or observations, can be misleading, resulting in incorrect interpretation and ineffective intervention. There are several types of validity. First is face validity, which considers whether a tool appears to measure what it claims to. The second is construct validity, which examines whether a tool truly measures the psychological trait or construct it targets. The third is content validity, which looks at how well the items on a test represent all aspects of the construct. And the fourth is predictive validity, which refers to the extent to which test results can forecast future behavior or outcomes. In the Al-Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah, on verse 283, وَلَا تَكْتُمُوا الشَّهَادَةَ وَمَنْ يَكْتُمْهَا فَإِنَّهُ آثِمٌ قَلْبُهُ وَاللَّهُ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ عَلِيمٌ. And do not conceal testimony, for whoever conceals it, his heart is indeed sinful, and Allah is knowing of what you do. This verse highlights the importance of honesty, accuracy, and justice in bearing witness, which closely relates to the importance of valid measurements in assessment. As witnesses are responsible for presenting the truth about a person's behavior, feelings, or cognitive processes. When the tools used are invalid, they fail in this responsibility and risk misguiding both individuals and society. In the Islamic tradition, the pursuit of justice, al-'adlu, and truth, al-haqq, must underpin every human endeavor, including psychological research and practice. Thus, validity is not merely a technical concern, but also a moral and spiritual one. When it comes to measuring construct in Islamic psychology, such as sabar, patience, tawakal, trust in Allah, ikhlas, sincerity, and taqwa, God consciousness. The fifth is reliability. What is reliability? Reliability concerns the extent to which measurement of a phenomenon provides stable and concise result. Reliability is also concerned with repeatability. For example, a scale or test is said to be reliable if repeat measurement made by it under constant conditions will give the same result. There are several types of reliability. The first is test-retest reliability. Second is inter-rater reliability. Third is parallel forms or alternative forms reliability. Fourth is internal consistency reliability. And the fifth is rational equivalence reliability. This time, I will only view two types of reliability. The first is Cronbach-Alpha reliability, or called as internal consistency reliability. And the second one is Cohen-Kappa reliability, which is known by inter-rater reliability. What is Cronbach-Alpha reliability? Cronbach-Alpha is a statistic used to measure the internal consistency or reliability of a group of items in a scale. It tells us how well items that propose to measure the same general construct produce similar scores. It is used especially for latent variables, example, motivation, self-esteem, extroversion, that cannot be directly observed. Typical interpretation of Cronbach-Alpha values: more than 0.90 is excellent, 0.80 to 0.89 is good, 0.70 to 0.79 is acceptable, 0.60 to 0.69 is questionable, 0.50 to 0.59 is poor, and less than 0.50 is unacceptable. Here are the formula for Cronbach-Alpha. The formula for Cronbach-Alpha involves the number of items on the scale, the average variance of each item, and the average covariance between items. If the items measure the same construct and are positively correlated, the alpha value will be higher, showing that the scale is reliable for research or assessment purposes. What is Cohen-Kappa reliability? Cohen-Kappa is a statistical measure used to evaluate the inter-rater reliability. That is the degree of agreement between two raters or judges on categorical or nominal variables. Beyond that would be expected by change. When do we use Cohen-Kappa? We use Cohen-Kappa when there are two raters are classifying items, for example, depressed or not depressed. The variables is nominal or categorized with no natural order. If you want to assess how much the raters agree beyond change, for ordinal variables, we can use Kendall's tau, and for internal or ratio metric variables, we can use Pearson correlation. Cohen-Kappa interpretation: Kappa value and then the strength of agreement. Less than 0 is called poor, 0.0 to 0.20 is slight, 0.21 to 0.40 is fair, 0.41 to 0.60 is moderate, 0.61 to 0.80 is substantial, 0.81 to 1 is almost perfect. In the example, 0.44, it is show that moderate agreement. Now let's integrate this reliability to the Islamic value. The first is Surah An-Nisa, verse 58. Inna Allaha ya'murukum an tu'addul amanati ila ahliha wa idha hakamtum bainan nas an tahkumu bil adl. Indeed, Allah commands you to render trust to whom they are due, and when you judge between people, to judge with justice. This verse emphasizes the importance of trust or amanah and truthfulness in all dealings, especially in decision making and judgment. And the second one is Surah Ar-Rahman on verse 9. وَأَقِيمُوا الْوَزْنَ بِالْقِسْطِ وَلَا تُخْسِرُوا الْمِيزَانَ. And establish weight in justice, and do not make deficient the balance. This verse is about maintaining justice and accurate balance, which can be applied metaphorically to fair assessment. And that brings us to the end of this journey into Islamic integration of key statistical concepts. We've known methods like correlation, t-test, ANOVA, validity, and reliability are not just technical tools. They reflect the divine principles of fairness, precision, and balance found in Islam. Let's continue using knowledge with sincerity, responsibility, and trust. And may our pursuit of knowledge always bring us closer to truth and righteousness. Thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.